Hello, kindergarten. All right, so today, while I'm not here, you are going to be doing a fun one-day project, and it's going to be it's called an oil resist, which we've done before. So remember, it's when we use oil pastel and we use watercolor paints. Sometimes we use the watercolor paints that are already liquid, and then sometimes we use the watercolor paints that come in these. They're called cakes, but they're not for eating. So we're going to today use the caked kind of watercolor. And what you're going to be doing first is, the first thing we do is always the same. We write down our name. So I'm writing Miss Langdon. And you can flip it over. And we're going to be using circle tracers today. You've used circle tracers before in our second project, back when we did a Kandinsky. But what you're going to do today is, it's going to be fun because you're going to use a white oil pastel on white paper. So you're not going to see it very well, and that's okay. So you can lay one of your circle tracers down and hold it, and then using the white oil pastel, press hard. And you're going to try to go all the way around. I can go back and forth, and I'm pressing against the circle tracer. That's how I know I'm getting a good circle. All right, so I can see it actually when I lift it up, but not super well. And you're going to get some oil pastel on your circles, and that's okay. And you want to go ahead and you could lay it down again, and you could trace the circle, the outside one, or you could trace the inside one. Remember to push against the edge of the circle. All right? So I would like you to trace, and it's okay if they overlap once again, so sometimes some of the lines are going to crisscross, and that's okay. I would like you to trace 10 circles, okay? So I've done 3 after this. You could just use the same circles over and over again and make 10 different circles. I'm really trying to press hard using my oil pastels. You're going to get a little bit on your fingers, and that's okay. It's just oil pastel. You're not going to wash them at the end of class. It's going to be no big whoop. Okay, so I'm just going to put one more. So I will not have 10, but I would like you to have 10. All right. Okay, so then I'm done with my oil pastel. You could just leave that in the center of your table, and those are going to be collected later on. Make sure there's no oil pastels on your or on the floor around you. And then we're going to use the watercolors, which you're going to share with the people at your table. So you'll need a water dish and your paintbrush. And remember, your paintbrush is like a ballerina. Her toes like to be pointed. She likes to dance on her toes. She doesn't like to scoot around on her bottom. So with watercolor, you need a bit of water on your brush, so you don't need to rub it off on the towel that'll be at your table. And you can select whatever colors that you like. I would select colors that are next to each other. So maybe just 2 colors, maybe yellow and green, or green and blue. I'm going to use blue and purple because I like those. So if you're the first person using it, you've got to kind of swirl it around on your brush. And I'm staying in the cake. I'm not going everywhere, because I need it to get a little bit damp. And I shouldn't mix up all the colors because we want them to stay nice. Nobody likes to use dirty colors. And then you can go and you can paint right on top of your picture, and you'll be able to see the colors change, or the watercolor and the oil pastel will resist each other. So the oil pastel doesn't like the watercolor, so it shoves it off. It doesn't like it on it, so he wants it to go away. And it works better if you color dark, all right? So if you color with the oil pastel dark, then you're going to be able to see more of the white circles. So I need to swoosh when I want to change, wipe, and I don't need to blot because we're using watercolor. So then I want to get the blue going. And I'm just using 2 next to each other. Do not use brown or black, please. No black, okay? And when you want to get more color on your brush, the same color, you'll still need to swoosh and wipe because you need a little bit of water on your brush. Watercolor, there's the color, you need to add the water. And you can go all the way to the edges. If a little bit gets on your table, that's okay because you'll be able to wipe it off with the towels that are at your table. When you're finished, put your work on the drying rack, and then you'll be able to get your sketchbooks and work in your sketchbooks today. All right, with the crayons, and you can use markers today as well. But take your time, have fun, see what happens to the watercolor when you add it on top of the oil pastel. You're not going to see it as well, so it's shoving it off. Color the whole paper. There should be no white spaces except for the circles that you traced. So that is what you're going to do today, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.